3, 2,
What is it that people do at the start of videos? Just sync them. Yeah, cool. Right.
action.
My name is Jamie. I'm a media and communication student at the University of Derby, and this is my assessment video. At the start of the module in our first lesson, our teacher just told us to go out and get creating. We had to sort of use our phones and walk around the city and just find rules of composition. So rule of thirds, leading lines, symmetry, any patterns or repetition we saw. I think mine was okay. I think it stood me in good stead because for our assessment portfolio at the end, we had to make a similar type of thing. So I'd already had experience doing that from the start of the year. And then the next week, we sort of learned how to use the Panasonic AG AC90s for the first time, really getting hands on the equipment, which was really interesting because it's different to just sitting behind a screen and learning online. So it's nice to really get out there and start creating, really. We just went around in pairs around the campus, just filming little clips. I didn't have my SD card at the time, otherwise I'd show you this, but yeah, we just got little clips, again looking for rules of composition, mise en scène in different shots. I think it went quite well. I think it was interesting to use the cameras rather than the phone. Obviously there's a lot to it, the white balance, really finding your shot, setting the spirit level right, everything goes into the shot that you just don't realise until you actually get hands on. I'd say the hardest part about using the cameras is just remembering everything you have to do and making sure it's all good. It's quite tedious at times, but I also quite enjoy when you get the shot right. If maybe the white balance is a tiny bit off or you're slightly out of focus, like once you fix all these little issues, it's great, but there's so many things to consider. Archbishop of Dansbury. When it came to filming videos for our portfolio, we've got the 3-point lighting video, the morning routine video. We use these cameras, and I'm using them right now as well. And these sessions early on in the year and really helped, getting used to using the cameras, really helped me with those videos. And then when it came to editing these videos, we used Adobe Premiere Pro. I'd used it a tiny bit before at college, but only a tiny bit. And it was good we had a few sessions at the start of the year with Alex, where we just sort of went through the basics. We had some sample videos to sort of edit together. Yeah, and that really helped. As the year went on, I felt like I got more comfortable using it, but to begin with it is quite difficult. There's a lot again, the camera is similar, there's a lot to sort of remember, but once you get it, it's really interesting and really satisfying to use and get it right, really. I think my favourite video for the portfolio was the action editing task. We had these sample videos from Adobe, and we had to sort of make a sequence out of it. And they were all this raw footage. I think there was about 20-25 shots, and we had to put it all into one video and make a narrative and sort of add your own music, audio. And it was really interesting because that's the type of thing that you might be doing in the action industry rather than filming your morning routine, but it all works in different ways. I think if I was to do the first year again, one thing I'd do differently is maybe I would use the cameras more outside of lessons, because obviously we had all these tasks and they were good to use, but I think I should have really used the opportunity to film other things, anything, and get really used to using the cameras and the Premiere Pro and everything. And I think in the coming years at uni, that's definitely something I'll do, because it's very rare that you'll get an opportunity to use all this equipment. So that's one thing I would do differently. One thing which really affected this first year is sort of the elephant in the room, not literally the virus in the room. Obviously COVID came around. We had 2 different lockdowns in the first year, so in November and it was after Christmas, I think, so it felt like about 6 months, and it really meant that we couldn't get hands on and use everything. And our sessions online were very good for theory, but obviously we want to be sort of really getting hands on. It's a bit of a shame, really. I think sort of life as a first year is not what I expected it to be as well. A bit off topic from the module, but you want to be out every day, and it's a bit difficult when you're stuck inside and having to isolate when people get COVID. Towards the end of the module, we also filmed our studio task, where we directed a sort of like a Blue Peter art attack type task. So I was in a pair with Max, and he made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I was in the gallery directing it. So I had to call the shots, you know.
Take 1, take 2, take 3.
But yeah, so my job as a director was to set the shots and speak to the camera people and you know, get like sort of, we had like a tight shot of his hands like following the action making sandwich. We had like a set shot, I think that was camera 1, and then on another camera we just had sort of a wider shot, and using multicam, which was completely different to anything else we'd done. But yeah, no, directing it was something completely different, which I'd say took a bit of getting used to when we practiced. You know, it's a bit different being on that side of the production. Another element of the module that we learned about quite a lot was sound and lighting, as well as obviously the visual side. So in terms of sound, we use these ME66 microphones, as I've just got here to record my voice. They just connect to the camera, and I think they're, you know, very simple to use, and whilst they're probably not the most expensive on the market, they do a great job at sort of removing any background sound. And we use them, so we use them in the morning routine video. I think that was it in the morning routine video, just to capture the sound really. In terms of lighting, we used, for the 3-point lighting video, we used 3 different types of lights. So we learned about how a key light, a fill light and a backlight work, both individually and simultaneously. So we used Kino lights and Dalo lights and sort of learned how to set them up. It's weird that until you like really get hands on with these different lights and use them and see the effects they have, you don't realise how important they are. Like, I think now, since doing all these, like learning all these different aspects of production, I'll then go and watch something else like a TV show or a movie, and you then pay more attention to the sound and the lighting. You know sort of why they've chosen a certain shot based on maybe the genre or the narrative itself. And I think just that basic hands-on experience has sort of helped me sort of grasp that. So this has been my assessment video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Cool.